Alright.
What's this?
I don't know, it's like cut. Hello.
This is the John Cena intro, is it?
Hello everyone. This is podcast number 2.
Episode 2.
With Daniel and Mr. Josh. Yeah, how was your week?
Alright, how's yours?
Not bad. You're in a conversational mood right now.
Oh, how was the Wailers?
Yeah, I saw Bob Marley's band, The Wailers, at the weekend. I don't want to diss The Wailers on camera because I'm going to get hated on for that, but there was only one of the original Wailers who were playing.
It was called The Original Wailers, it was advertised.
But only one of them was actually there.
Right, okay.
So I thought it shouldn't matter too much because Bob Marley's, the songs aren't too hard to sing.
It's the essence of
But actually, I wasn't entirely impressed, to be honest.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
wasn't feeling reggae, man. I mean, the people there were reggae enough, but it wasn't, the singer wasn't great. The guy in the keyboard he couldn't hit any of the solos.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it a white band? No. Well, maybe that might be why they can't capture it. We're gonna have to edit that out.
Maybe.
No, that's fine.
But I don't know. Anyway, I believe that I could have sang better than I'm away.
You could have done it better.
Not from Jamaica. Anyway, just a bit.
What was the atmosphere like?
Atmosphere was good. Everyone was singing along.
Was it busy?
It was busy.
Yeah. More so than when we did.
But apart from that, everything aside, I got paid today.
Nice. Biggest paycheck today.
So I'm happy.
Nice.
Yeah. I figured that coming into this podcast, I won't wear my shirt and everything. I'll be a bit more comfortable.
You've cashed it up this time.
Yeah, I was a bit of a dick last week.
You're a bit of a blank slip. Yeah.
Alright, so
place, yeah.
based on the experience you had in, say, property,
Yeah.
so I'm cheering up now because I've got paid and
You're really good though.
I'm not in my work stuff, so I'm a bit more chill.
I haven't been paid yet, so I'm in a bad mood.
Okay.
I've got a terrible headache.
Well,
So it's going to be fun.
that's not a free pass to be an arsehole. But apart from that, work's okay.
Works alright, yeah.
Any deals?
Couple of deals, yeah. I did a nice little lease in Marina Promenade in the marina
Okay.
this week. Good landlord, really nice landlord to be fair.
Cool.
He was he's British Indian,
Okay.
and he was like so going out for drinks with him on Friday. Yeah, really nice guy.
Nice.
He was that sort of just down to earth kind of guy.
Does he have holiday homes companies as well?
No, he does not.
Alright, okay.
No, different British Indian.
But
There's only one British Indian in Dubai.
when it comes to Dubai, people seem to classify the nationality because it's pretty diverse over here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you are in Dubai, truth be told, you recognise the different styles of negotiating with different nationalities.
This is very true. Yeah.
That's a good
Everybody
point.
has like a
Yeah.
set.
There's
sort
like
of,
the classic stereotypical ways of negotiating.
Yeah. Should I turn that off? Do you think? I just haven't-
It sounds like we're in a plane.
It's quite loud. That's just the washing machine. It's the studio. I apologise.
He's actually washing his stuff. I noticed when I walked in, I smelled a bit of floor cleaner on their floors. You did, didn't you? Actually brushing the fucking floor for once. Right?
Well, I listened to the. We're evolving as each episode goes on.
I appreciate that, man. That's incredibly considerate.
I very nearly fixed the curtains this weekend. That's next weekend's job.
You'll fix them more when you take them down completely. But so last week we covered a lot about, I don't know, just general nonsense.
I think we were more introducing ourselves.
Yeah, we talked a bit about discipline, what makes a broker, things like that.
Did we talk about what makes a broker?
Some key traits, yeah.
Okay.
Should we turn it off?
Do your socks have left and right on?
Yeah.
Really?
It's for people who are special.
Oh, that's why you've got them right, okay. Was that, did you buy them yourself?
I didn't actually. They belonged to someone I knew. when I was staying with other people.
Oh, you've stolen someone's socks?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I nicked socks. That's how broke I was. Discipline. And the reason I'm bringing it up again this week
Is it?
is because I saw another podcast.
Really?
And they went to town on discipline.
Who was the podcast?
It was with Josh Phegan.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Who you listen to religiously?
Friendly favourite, yeah. But he's big on discipline. And of course, you know, discipline is different for everyone else, like we concluded last week.
The one conclusion from that podcast, yeah.
But he mentioned a few other things that I wanted to cap with those of who are listening who would be interested in taking on real estate. And there was like 6 points that came up in his slideshow. And it seems to be like the process of becoming an established agent.
Okay.
And the first one was learning, obviously.
Yeah.
We all, when you jump in, you're learning about different areas, you know, different prices.
Right, so becoming an expert. Like we touched on last week, you want to be a consultant.
General understanding of everything as well as the processes. That's quite tricky at the start, but as you do more, then you start to have fun. And fun is the number 2 thing right now that you've got the information. You can have a bit of fun with it.
Okay.
Because now you're enjoying being able to use what you've learned so far, and you know, start closing some deals. And that's good fun.
Question: you're what, a year and a half in?
Yeah.
Still having fun with it?
I'm past fun. This is the number 3.
Okay, right.
We go on to the whitewater, right? And it's like whitewater rafting, right? If you're on the blue behind the waves, and then you just fuck what's going on.
White Rapids is where it's like crazy.
That's when you're getting leads out your arse. You've got loads of new listings online. You know, people are telling you to do other things. You're trying to work. You're trying to close a few deals. You're going off to viewings. You've not got a lot of time in your hands, and right now you're just pedal to the metal. Like, this is fucking good, but shit, I need to figure out my priorities.
Is it maintainable?
Yeah, yeah. Right, so it's figuring out how to make it work, what to ignore, but still battling through and taking advantage of like a crazy period of time where everything's going on.
Right.
The next one, number 4, is predicted success. Right. I like this one. This is when you've passed the crazy point and you don't need so many listings online to get too much marketing involved. Actually, people are starting to call you.
Okay, I see.
And then you've got stock, or you know people with stock, and you can kind of just match people naturally.
Someone comes to you. You're not relying on cold leads.
Yeah, essentially, you don't need to do as much cold calling or the nitty gritty work to get established. Like, you're establishing yourself now as a broker. And the next one is the treadmill, which my interpretation of this was that, you know, you are running at a constant speed and you're just repeating your routines because you know what works.
So it's calmed down a bit, you've found your stride.
Essentially, yes.
Right.
But there's disadvantages to this routine where you've got to remember if you're doing the same thing every day,
you're not going to grow.
Well, you can grow, you know, depending on who you meet during those periods of time, but you need to be adaptable to change.
Right. Okay.
Because I believe in Dubai right now, in this decade, like Josh was saying. Yeah, his name's Josh, right?
Vegan.
Yeah.
Not me, Josh.
Like he was saying as well. I'm taking a lot of this because I just listened today, but I'm not recycling it as such. I think he's got some good points to make. But we had this discussion about like Dubai being, you know, this really important decade of like absolutely booming.
The 20s.
Crazy. But what happens, you know, if it flips upside down? No, what if this recession comes, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Then you need to be adaptable to change. And part of being adaptable is establishing relationships.
Right, okay.
Because when you've got relationships in the hard times, you've got people who trust your word. And you develop your relationships with certain people. He went through a whole other topic on developing relationships, but the relationships comes important in the hard times when you need people who you can still work with. because you might not be getting so many leads.
Okay.
And then that's this dead rut is the last one, where if you're not adaptable to change, and you know the markets change and you don't, then you crash and burn.
Okay. Interesting.
An example of that was Blockbusters, or like
Okay,
places that used to sell.
because they didn't adapt to streaming. Yeah.
What's that CD shop, HMV?
Yeah.
Right. So they changed sort of with the market. I mean, they still sell a shit ton of CDs, and their focus is on that. But
then they
now they're
merch.
now they're all big on merchandise, posters, vinyls, shit like that.
Okay, so that's a good example of adapting.
So
it was a pretty similar model to Blockbusters as well,
Yeah.
in the sense that you were just buying DVDs and stuff.
But they adapted a bit more.
Okay.
However, the business, I don't know if it's good or not.
I don't know.
I'll put
It's
something.
still going.
I'll put something up here now that I know how to use the fucking.
Oh, now we can edit all of our facts.
If you want to find out about HMV.
The population of Scotland, you said, was 15 million. How much was it? I think it was like 4, wasn't it?
It was like 4.
Okay, 11 million. Very good.
So that's what I was sort of learning about today, and that I could relate to a bit, to be honest. Yeah.
So this section of the podcast is we talk about Josh Phegan's podcast.
Yeah, I think I'll try not to mention them next week.
Is he going to sponsor us?
Maybe.
That could be good.
We'll ask him on our number 10 podcast number 10. We'll invite him in.
Okay, right. Well, we would have to follow him first.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Do you feel motivated after listening to it?
Well, the thing is, right, when he's telling you how to be a certain level, be the best, how do you be the best? You know, and then putting up quotes like that, and that. And you're like, yeah, I know how to be the best, I'm just not doing it.
Why aren't you doing it?
Discipline. I swear to God.
Have you been to the gym since last week?
I did 20 press-ups in 2 days in a row.
Okay. Alright.
And I got busy, if you know what I mean.
The days you did your 20 press-ups.
What about them? I was just bored, man. I was just, not necessarily, no. That was me trying to be productive because I was doing sweet fuck all. That was at the weekend though.
Okay. Right, okay. Alright, interesting. Is it interesting?
Well, I just believe that discipline's a big, strong thing that is something that we all need to be able to be the best.
Right.
You got to do it. Like, if you write down your stats, how you feel, what your goals are.
So you listened to this morning, right?
Yeah.
What have you done? What takeaways have you actioned since this morning?
Well, I then worked.
Right.
And then...
Did you work in any different way, or did you just carry on?
I worked in the same way, but I know that in order to put in what he's told me, that I need to write shit down.
Okay.
I need to, like, on my Excel sheets where I list out and plan my day, I need to have, like, my yearly goal there. I need to have my 5-year goal there, my 10-year goal there. And not only that, writing lists of what makes you motivated, writing lists of what makes you positive, writing lists of what you're dissatisfied with, because dissatisfaction,
yeah,
is the driver for change.
Right, okay. Did you write it down?
I wrote that down, I remember it as well.
No.
Dissatisfaction is a driver for change. So if you tell
No, I mean, did you do this? Did you write down your 5-year goal? Did you write down your...
Not yet. But after work I went and had my dinner and I came here.
I just thought maybe you'd be feeling motivated for it.
I was a bit, but I think I was more motivated because I had money behind me. I actually got paid, so... but I think that's a good one. Like, tell me one thing that you're dissatisfied with.
Oh, I can't,
about your life.
just in case the boss listens. With life in general, fuck.
Just
what am I dissatisfied with? Give me an example.
No, give me an example.
I don't know. It's a long list, mate.
Just, exactly. The longer the list, then the more you have to change, and the more you need to action that using discipline and willpower. I'm gonna drive this discipline into this fucker's head until you realise that it's a good thing, and then I'll do my cutting and editing, and I'll put what you said last week.
Discipline, but in your own way. It can be anything.
Fine.
For me, it's drinking.
Like right here.
In a little screen pop up here.
No, it's already played.
Oh, okay. What am I dissatisfied with? Are we doing this? We're doing like a deep therapist breakdown? It's not how I expected this podcast
Neither
to go.
did I, but if
We're
you
here.
tell me something, we can talk about it.
Right, I'm dissatisfied with... I don't know how specific.
Say something up. Dickish.
Huh?
You're gonna say something like an arsehole.
I'm dissatisfied with my earnings at the minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, well now you know that you need to make more money.
Easy as that. Right, stop the podcast. I'm going back to the office.
Oh, now you know that if you're dissatisfied with what you're making, then you need to figure out how to make more, obviously.
Yeah, right, okay.
Right, so what are you doing wrong? Why are you not making enough money?
Lack of motivation.
What?
Well, no, I think it's... Is this going to stay in?
Why not?
Because I'm basically about to slag off my company.
I guess then... Because if you were to tell me everything you didn't like, then I'm going to say, why don't you think about it this way? And you know what?
And then I'll be changed. You'll just like that.
It's becoming...
Your answer will just be change it.
Alright, okay, well we won't get into your politics then.
Give us an example. What are you dissatisfied with?
I'm dissatisfied with let's say I'm dissatisfied with the fact I don't get to go back home.
Okay.
I get to do it maybe once a year.
So your motivation is to have more trips home. How do you do that? You earn more money. How do you earn more money? And then you just take it back.
I'm dissatisfied with the little time I have to talk with my family.
Okay.
They're just a phone call away, but we don't talk too much.
Okay.
But that to me that's on my shoulders every now and then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Sometimes when people say, oh, I haven't spoken to this person in a while, I'll give them a call. Right, when you're in that moment, like all the time.
Oh, it's hard to just drop it.
So it's quite hard to,
because
it's a 4 hour difference now. Clocks went back.
Yeah.
So
no, that is always.
If I did that more, I would be a little bit more happy. I would be less dissatisfied. Okay. I'd be more satisfied.
Alright, and if you're more satisfied, then
motivation comes with yeah.
Or could you not argue that complacency comes with satisfaction?
What do you mean?
So the more happy and content you are, the less motivated you are. Because you feel like, well, I'm comfortable, I'm happy. Why do I need to work any harder than I need to work?
Right, okay.
Just completely playing devil's advocate. I know there's the whole thing that you have to strive for more. You know, there's never going to be enough money. You're never going to be flying home as much as you want to fly.
Well, then you've got your goals to strive for. Right, so dissatisfaction is one thing, right?
Okay.
But if you've got a goal that says, in 10 years' time, I want this.
Right.
In 5 years' time, I want this.
What's your 10-year goal?
I don't have one. Like, I'll write it down soon enough. But
Right, okay.
For example, I want to put a deposit down on a house in the next 2 years.
Where, here or?
Let's just say, like, for example,
Alright.
which that'd be nice. But what do you need for that? Money, right? I'm motivated. I'm not thinking about the money anymore. I'm thinking about that house. I want to do my job really well. One of my goals is to be, say, an expert in my field. That motivates me to know and be the best. Also,
yeah, fair enough.
I really want that fucking house.
Yeah, okay.
So, you know, you're working towards something.
Yeah,
like when you book a holiday and you're at work, what are you thinking about?
The holiday, yeah.
You're working hard. You work for that holiday. You're like, I can boss my ass off and I'll be drained mentally at the end of the day, but I know I'm going to have this free time that's going to be good for me.
Yeah.
I've worked towards that. So like planning things can be good. Having goals can help. So last week we mentioned spoils.
Oh, and I made a note, and you...
Yeah.
Okay.
So, in Dubai, we must admit, we are spoiled, right? Would you say? I mean...
Yeah, you get used to a certain level of service, right?
Yeah, there's like levels of service that are just not the same around the world.
Yeah, fine.
Right. I'll start off. For example, and you can base the audience can base their own impressions off of our examples.
Okay.
First example, when you go and fill up your car, who
Yeah,
fills it up?
Yeah.
There's guys at the petrol station who wait there, and then you just pop the thing, and
And
they
they go,
put
yeah,
it
you
in.
just do your window
60,
down, yeah.
60 dirhams worth, please. And you just sit there in your car until they're done. They come with the card machine, you pay it. First time I came to Dubai, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
What's going on? Why is nobody getting out of their car yet?
And then I would get out my car and unscrew the thing, go take the petrol thing, right? The guy's running over, put it in, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, you got to tap your card, or
They need to tap their card on it to activate it, so no one's allowed to fill up their own car.
Right, this is interesting though, because, well, one, you can fill up your own car, you just got to ask them to do it for you. Taxi drivers tend to do it quite a lot. You always see a taxi driver get out of his car and fill up his own car. But that's a good thing. That is how it should be. Think about it. You're generating jobs for the economy. Those people are employed. Those people are paid. Doesn't matter how much the wages. The fact is, it's a job. It's generating jobs. If they weren't working there, it's unemployment up. They'd have other jobs, but that fills a space. It's not, but there is a degree of safety in there, right? If everybody's getting out, running around, I know it's a myth, but the whole thing, don't go on your mobile phones. Back in the UK, how many people do you see filling up their car with their phone in their hand? Almost everyone.
What does that matter?
It's just a safety thing. That's
People
just
are on their phones in the car.
But you're not supposed to be. There are always signs. There's
Yeah,
always
why?
signs. It's a myth that your phone will create a spark that will set off your thing.
Well, there's a myth that leaving your engine on
Whilst
creates friction when you're pouring in the petrol and you can blow up.
It's another myth, yeah. Do you not turn your car off?
Every now and then, not in the summer.
But technically, when you turn your car on, you've got your ignition, which sparks. That's how
Yeah.
your car starts. So it is a myth, but it's a thing. It's a health and safety thing, and it generates jobs. It's good for the economy. That's how it should be.
Well, I could debate and say that these guys are probably getting paid like 2,000 a month.
But what's the
Maybe
alternative?
less.
They don't get paid anything. It's a job for them. I know there's a. So this is a big.
I suppose it's
This
the
is-
land of opportunity. You got to start somewhere, but where are you going to go? Pulling pumps?
Filling pints. No, but my
I
point
suppose
is,
you can learn English and then because Dubai's very
they're here
English
for a reason.
Arabic.
They're here for a reason, right? It's because whether they're just fucking pumping gas or they're, real estate agents, whatever they're doing, they're earning more than they would back home. There's a reason that they're here, and it just whether
Yeah, I get what you're
whether
saying.
it's 2,000 dirhams a month or whether it's 5,000 dirhams a month, it's still a job.
Okay, you've argued a good case. Moving on, buying drinks at bars. There's a lot of table service. Like you can sit down somewhere, you wave your hand, hello, someone will come over.
Yeah.
But that's
Again,
like,
that's around the world now, though.
is it though?
Yeah. When did you come out to Dubai?
Before COVID.
So when the pubs opened, it was all tables.
But they've stuck to that now.
I think I've been
certain
here 2
places,
years. I
in
don't know.
certain
But
places.
when I went back over Christmas, every single pub had a barcode on the table. You scan it, you order your drinks.
Alright.
Yeah.
What about hospitality
What about hospitality?
in Dubai? It's like people spoon feed you. They're always like, okay sir.
Yeah,
And they
I think
run around
it's
the
too
block.
much, right? I think that is. I agree with you there. The most annoying thing for me is when you finish eating, because I eat considerably faster than Laura. I'll finish my plate, I'll put my knives and forks down. Boom, the plate is gone. Laura's still eating. That really pisses me off.
Yeah, they should do that.
That's just bad etiquette.
Yeah, but in the 5-star hotels, which is like a normal thing over here,
Yeah.
people tend to get quite entitled, and it's very easy for people to start talking down
Yeah.
or immediately get a little bit aggro
As soon
and
as something doesn't
demanding,
get picked up on.
and
Yeah.
demanding
No,
with like certain small
Yeah, people
things.
out here can get. I think, is that a Dubai thing? Is that you think you're at
I
Dubai,
think
you
it's-
expect a certain level of service?
I think
and
so.
some people are so rude.
People-
Even in the pub, some people are so rude to waiters and stuff.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's shocking, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And I think Dubai kind of spoils people like that. Certain people get spoiled by this hospitality.
Yeah.
Like some people exploit it.
The issue is when you go to these 5-star hotels and stuff, they're not cheap, right? You're paying for a service. I think what people that's when they then get spoiled, and they will then go to Crown and Iron or a cheap pub somewhere and expect that same level of service. And I think that's when they become rude, because if you're paying, you know,
But they're rude at the hotels anyway.
I'm
Even if this
tax,
you what?
I haven't experienced someone being rude at a hotel. I normally think they're so hot on it. I think the service staff are so used to it. They don't give the excuse. They don't allow the person to become annoyed. From what I've seen. But then those same people will go to a cheap bar where they're paying 35 dirhams a pint, and they'll be acting as if they're spending hundreds and thousands of pounds there. Do you know what I mean? That's where I think the issue comes from. Is that in the 5-star hotels, you're paying a premium, you expect the service.
But I'm talking more about like someone does something wrong, and then when you point it out, they're like a deer in the headlights. It's all right, but can you do that again? Only the way I wanted it, and then it'll come back, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, right, cheers. But some people.
That's what you would expect. Like.
Yeah. But some people, when it's wrong, and they do that, and then the person is like proper deer in the headlights.
Right.
And they come back and they make another mistake again, because their brain almost like, oh shit, I need to be really sharp right now, and they're thinking so much that they don't think properly, and they do it wrong again and again and again. Like sometimes when I point something out, because let's be honest, in terms of hospitality, although they try to up their service like 100%, they do make a lot of mistakes. Yeah. Small mistakes.
Yeah, but they're low paid workers as well, you've got to remember.
It doesn't matter, right? Like they've got brains, they can think. So like when I say I want something and they give me something else, then I'm like, oh bro, you didn't bring that over. I don't want to be fussy or anything. But like I do want that. You forgot a thing. If you don't mind, do you know what I'm saying? I'll say it politely. And then there's experiences where I've been a bit of a dick. Like, because I'm just like expect them to do something wrong.
Yeah, I think when you ask them a certain amount of times as well, you.
I'm just like, bro, just what did I say earlier? They're like getting a bit aggro, and I'm like, and then you'll do it right. Do you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to. Sometimes it's like, why do I need to kick your ass? It's strange. I haven't had really strange. Really? Yeah. What the fuck have you been doing? Just you get your own drinks. Spoiled.
No, that's interesting. Did you see the thing about James Corden in the news, that he got banned from a restaurant in New York or LA or wherever it is?
No.
Because they came out, they served him the wrong thing. Apparently he fucking kicked off in this restaurant. So then the restaurant went on Twitter or something and said, James Corden, you are banned from our restaurant. So he's had to come out and like apologise on the Late Show and like all that sort of stuff. And then they've now lifted the ban.
Okay, fair enough.
I hate James Corden.
I don't know too much about the guy, really.
He just does. No, nor do I. I've never met him. I just dislike him.
Speaking of people running around the block to get you the extra packet of mayonnaise.
Just touching on that, I hate it when you ask, can I just have a bit of ketchup? And they come back with a bowl full of ketchup, right? That literally happened this weekend. I was in DFC or something. I said, can I have some ketchup and mayo, please? I must have had like 10 chips. It was like one of those gourmet things. I shit you not, it was a bowl as big as that glass of ketchup and then that one of mayo. What am I going to do with that?
It's a bit wasteful, eh?
So wasteful.
Gotta take it home with you.
Yeah.
Sorry,
interjection. But that is, it's on the topic of being spoiled. It was ridiculous. I hate things like that. Such a waste.
That's not a bad spoil.
Such a waste.
It's just someone being an idiot.
No, because it's like a standard serving bowl for sauce. Yeah,
it's a bit stupid. You would say that's a bit stupid.
It's completely stupid, but it's not the server's fault. That's how they're told to do it. It's the manager's fault. Everyone's ketchup. We'll give them a bowl.
Who says they were told to do that?
Well, they clearly came in whatever you want to call it, a saucer, a bowl that was only going to be used for pickles. It's like a weird metallic bowl. You're not putting anything else in there.
Garnish. I don't know, man.
It's bizarre. Just give me a bit of ketchup. I'd rather take the little plastic KFC wrapper things than a bowl of ketchup. One other thing. Have you ever asked for vinegar?
Yeah, maybe. Once, I don't know.
Have you been served vinegar properly? I've been to like 4 different places lately. Nobody knows what vinegar is.
What do they call it?
No, it doesn't exist.
It's like balsamic.
They don't know what that is. One of them once came out with white spirit, thinking it was vinegar. Yeah. But
What
they
the
don't know. The next time we're out for dinner, say, can I have some vinegar? Please?
Okay.
And just watch their expression go blank.
That's strange.
It's really bizarre, yeah.
Even in the burger joints.
Maybe on the burger joint, something like restaurants and stuff. But yeah, no, I was at Belgian Beer Cafe, I didn't know what vinegar was.
That's strange. They should know.
Yeah, try it. It's
Oh,
quite a funny little
yeah.
experiment, yeah.
I will do that.
Yeah.
So, when you're in Dubai for quite some time and you get used to this hospitality and the services and people wiping your arse for you.
Oh, bum gun's a good example.
People do that themselves.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we can talk about that. That's a different culture we need to talk about. But anyway, when you're
That's
used
a game changer.
when you're used to the hospitality services and how in depth they are, like to satisfy you by any means possible. I had this experience where I hadn't been home in like a year, and I'm like, oh, finally I'm fucking home. And I was in the airport in Glasgow, and I said to the policeman, I said, listen mate, and this is like a prime example of like exactly what I'm talking about. In Dubai, if you go and ask for something like, where do I find the exit? They'll be like, oh, come with me sir, come with me, I'll follow me.
Yeah.
And they'll run out with the door.
Yeah.
They'll run out the door with you. Where are you going?
You're exaggerating
Yeah.
slightly.
No,
Yeah.
not.
They don't run out the door.
Come on. And I went up to this policeman in Glasgow and I go, mate, where's the exit? And he turns around and he goes, well, you see that big sign over there that says exit? Like, I was like, I'm home. I was so happy.
That's proper British humor.
I was so happy.
Yeah.
I was like, I've just missed people saying things like this, like just the sarcasm.
Yeah.
I was just like, where is it? I was like, Dubai. I don't want it to spoil me. Like, I like this.
Yeah, that's a good example. I like that.
But that's kind of what Dubai is like in a nutshell. And that's all my talking points. Oh yeah. Everyone in Dubai seems to have a cleaner come at least once a week.
I didn't think that was that different from back home.
You had cleaner in the UK.
I didn't personally, but pretty much everybody did, yeah. Unless you've got like a stay-at-home mum, or unless one of your parents is at home constantly, or unless there's somebody in the house constantly, then yeah, you'd have a cleaner, yeah.
But even when I lived by myself, or sorry, with my flatmate, for the whole, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years, we never had a cleaner.
Yeah, okay. But out here you do have a
If
cleaner.
you were living in the UK,
Yeah.
would you have a cleaner? By yourself, you were living by yourself.
No, but I don't really get a cleaner for here.
Right, okay.
Do you get a cleaner
I
for
don't,
here?
because I don't want to spend the money on it. My point is, in Dubai, everyone gets cleaners. And most families get nannies.
The nannies is a weird one. I think cleaners is quite...
Like, kids
normal.
with, it could be British parents, it could be Indian parents, it could be Arabic
Yeah.
parents, any kind of parents from anywhere in the world, get nannies who tend to be of Filipino
Yeah,
or Indian
yeah,
or African,
yeah.
and this kid will more or less be raised by
Yeah,
his
100%.
parents.
It's really bizarre. That's really strange.
And you'll find like a lot of the local kids have been raised by these people, and they kind of have a similar trait every now and then. You'll pick up on it.
Yeah, so I was
Those who have had intense nannying will have like, they'll know things more about certain cultures because of the way they were brought up.
which you could argue is a good thing.
I don't know. It
Yeah,
depends on
no,
what you
just
look
in
at.
terms of education from understanding different races, religions, that's brilliant.
That's good.
But you lack a development with your parents. And
That's
terrible.
one
That's
thing. Yeah. Like,
terrible.
I'll see like a woman go to the pub, right, with their baby and her husband or whatever, and you know, the nanny will be sitting there with the pram, and she'll be like, oh, he's shat himself, and the nanny will go and clean the diaper.
Yeah, you must lose a bit of bonding there, right?
I think that
You've got
it's my kids. Although I don't want to touch shit and nappies and all that, but I'll take.
That's what you're signing up for
but,
when you're a kid.
Yeah, that's
right?
kind of what you sign up for.
I went to the address.
It's like you get a nanny. Like people get dogs out here all the time. They'll get
the
nanny to
walk it and pick up the shit and stuff.
Yeah.
What's the point?
What's the point of having a dog?
Exactly. I went to Virginia.
Because the only point in having a dog is picking up the shit. No, we'll love the dog. The dog loves us more, but you can clean its shit.
But you're not bonding with it. When we were at this hotel resort and there were two parents sunbathing on the lounges, and the nanny was with the kids in the pond.
Yeah.
And then the nanny took it back to do it. They just stayed there all day. Why would you go on holiday with your children if you're not going to go on holiday with your children?
They're not on holiday.
No, they were. This was in Fujairah. This was like a hotel thing.
Oh shit.
Yeah. The nanny was in the pool playing with the kids. The parents were just sat at the side. Occasionally, the kid would run over to the parent, and then they'd summon the nanny over to get rid of the kid. It was mental. Why would you do that?
Fucking hell.
I suppose it's nice for the nanny. She gets taken away.
I see the advantages, disadvantages. I think people abuse it. They're spoiled with it, right?
Yeah.
One of the advantages, of course, would be, right, me and my wife get to be together more, and we don't need to worry too much about the kids. We can have our own break. It's like getting a babysitter.
That's not a parent's job, though, right?
Well, think about how many divorces there are in this fucking world, right?
Yeah, but
based off of their own space. Couples need their own time, right? They need to worry a bit less about certain things. I think that a nanny can be a good thing for
within reason, though, right?
Within reason, yeah.
Yeah, within reason. But no, I don't think there's any excuse because it goes to school, right? And then you can have date night once a week, get a babysitter, or have a nanny once a week. People with live-in nannies that have their breakfasts made for them, takes the kids to school.
Did you have a nanny?
No, I never had a nanny. No. Did you?
No. Did your parents go on a date night once a week?
No. Where is this going?
I was just asking.
No, they didn't.
Are they still together?
No, they're not. They're not. Okay, fair enough.
Neither did mine, and they're not together anymore either. So, maybe that's it. You know?
No, I think. Fuck, man.
That's a good point, though. Like if my parents had a nanny that could take I had two brothers and a sister.
Yeah,
right?
I've
and we were 2 years apart. I mean, two sets of twins.
Fuck.
So could you imagine taking
that's intense.
two 5-year-olds and
you don't
2 4-year-olds
twins,
or 2 3-year-olds out? I need to go to the shop. Shit. And I've got 4 wings just fucking running. Are you kidding me on?
Yeah.
My mum is fucking one powerful woman, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I don't know how she bloody managed that.
Yeah, see, my mum and dad were clever. They spaced us all 4 years apart.
Right.
So just as one of us got old enough to sort of do their own thing, boom, another one. Spice up the marriage a bit. And then they got divorced. They're not divorced, they were married, but then they split up about 4 years after the last one was born. So they clearly pigs and troughs a lull every 4 years.
Were you the last one?
First one.
Oh, jeez.
The oldest, yeah. Where was I going? So, I was speaking with a guy this week, and he was like, he was selling his house. So, why are you selling? He's like, I want to downgrade into a 1-bed. So, why are you doing that? He goes, my family's going back to the UK. Why are your family going back to the UK? Because he's got a 14-year-old. Oh, no, was it 14? No, 11. He's got an 11-year-old, just finished primary school, going into secondary school, or the high school and secondary school, whatever you want to call it. And he said, I'm sending them back to the UK because he's got to have some street smarts about him.
Yeah.
He said he didn't say he was becoming rude, but he just said he was becoming like unaware of how
the world works.
Exactly, yeah. So out of touch. And so he was saying like everything's just on his doorstep. But he also said, so this guy was raised in like East London, right? Like on the streets. He was the first Indian family to go there, all that sort of stuff. And he was saying his kid has never experienced that because it's so multicultural out here, but also because it's so safe out here. His kid would end up saying, if he ever went back to the UK and his kid's 10, 15, 20 years older, his kid would say the wrong thing to the wrong person because he doesn't know any different. It's not a malicious thing, it's not he's doing it intentionally, but he was like, I need him to do high school where if he does say the wrong thing, he's going to get a wedgie or he's going to get his head put down.
I'd say a lot of the people I've met who have been out here for 20 years or 10, 15 years, whatever, plus, they'll say to you, I fucking love it here because I don't need to deal with certain bullshit. No one's rude, everyone's safe. They've passed it. Like, for us, coming in at this sort of age, we test. Yeah, I know when I first came here, I was testing it, like, how much can I get away with here? Just to see what people are like, what kind of reactions do I get. And obviously the people who are straight off the boat will give you the reaction you expect. Whereas the other people who have been there a while are like softer. Yeah. And you know, you're like, actually that's quite cool. Like that's quite nice that I can talk to anyone. I can you know, make jokes with anyone, blah 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 blah. Obviously, like, don't piss them off, but it takes a bit of work to piss them off.
Tying that back into what we were talking earlier about having a lack of respect to the staff, isn't it so funny how everybody's so respectful if you're not wearing that uniform?
I'm respectful to staff all the time.
No, I agree. That's what we were just talking about. We are pretty respectful.
I mean, most people are. Most people are like going out and stuff, but when it comes to certain situations, like certain cultures are worse for it than others.
I agree, but I think just as a general rule of thumb, if we were, let's say, at a 5-star hotel, I guarantee we could watch someone shout, yell, and scream at one of this receptionist or waiters or something for fucking something up. But then if you said, "Oh, excuse me, like, you're in the way," they would be so respectful to us. Do you not think?
I guess. Yeah.
There's that sort of disparity between people that are employed to do a job and an expectation of that level of service that they're rude to. Like we were talking about, you get used to that level of service so you can, you know, when they fuck up 1, 2, 3, 4 times, you can vent on them because it's a position of power that you're in, right?
Yeah. Okay. I don't really know what your point is.
Very good. I was tying it all in. Like that guy that you asked to sit on your lap. And then
like there's certain ways of approaching things. Like.
But he would probably, if they fucked up his order, he would be rude to the server. I would say as a general rule of thumb. Do you see what I mean?
I see. Although he's nice to me. Yeah. When he's in a position of power.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. If a waiter or someone that's employed fucks up, you don't lord it over them.
And maybe some people do. That's another thing, because even the ways people talk to waiters and stuff over here, if they spoke to them the same way back in the UK, you'd probably get a fucking finger in your face.
Yeah, exactly. Or a little bit of spit in the food.
Like, what the fuck? Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Excuse me? Like, which is fair enough.
Yeah. And it's what you were talking about. It's everyone's sort of.
I only get a little bit, you know, wordy when they've made stupid mistakes, like a few times. I'm like, bro, come on, like, what's going on?
Yeah, but
why am I waiting 50 minutes for a drink? You said it's 5 minutes. I asked you again, you said 5 minutes. And now it's been 25 minutes. Where's my fucking drink?
That is fucking annoying. I hate it when they do that. Yeah. If it's going to be 50 minutes, tell me it's going to be 50 minutes. Yeah. I'll plan accordingly. Yeah. If every 5 minutes I'm expecting a drink, then I'm going to get pissed off. That's upsetting. But they don't do that often here, I don't think. There are some places where they're a little bit slow, but I'd say as a general rule of thumb,
it comes every now and then, man. Like, you just point things out, for fuck's sake, this guy. Anyway. Real estate.
Okay, let's tie it all into real estate. Do you find as a broker that some landlords or some clients, do you feel like you're on the receiving end, because we're technically providing a service in the same way a waitress or a waiter is or a receptionist is or something. Do you ever feel like you're on the receiving end of that?
Yeah, like more often than not when you're doing cold calls or you meet someone who's quite demanding.
Yeah.
They or someone who's already had experience with real estate brokers, they don't see you as a consultant. First impressions, they talk to you like an agent, and an agent has stereotypes of being deceiving, misleading, only after the money, untrustworthy.
Yeah, just in it for the commission, yeah.
Yeah, and they'll treat you like that.
Yeah. Some people
Straight off the bat, they'll be like, send me this, send me that, and I want this much for my property.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, right, okay, just before we get started, and then you'll show them that you're a fucking consultant, and you'll correct some certain ways. You won't obviously be offended by the way they're speaking to you.
No, you've got to just take it, yeah, exactly.
Because, like, fair enough, like, there's a lot of twats out there treating people like shit.
We know what game we're playing.
Yeah, we know what game we're in. So you just like, right, listen, by the way. And then once you give them that and they respond to it, and you...
They either respond in two ways, right? They either don't want to hear it because they think they're right, or they will say, okay, I can see you are a consultant, I'm going to take on board your advice, I might not agree with it, but you can have intelligent conversations with some people and with others you can't. Yeah. And this is now tying it back into the podcasting. This has gone full circle. This has gone very well. At what stage? So I would say maybe on the treadmill stage, because as you said, you always expect to have that sort of abrasiveness whilst you're building the relationship. But if they're a really demanding landlord or tenant or client, whatever you want to say, if I then justify my position to them and they're still not having it, I close the door on that business now. I'm in a position where I've got the people coming towards me. I don't have time for that anymore.
If you do a service to a certain point and you still don't have respect,
I'd much more happily walk away.
Then like you're best closing the deal to a certain extent. However, if you follow through with the job and it goes well, they might change their attitude. You never know. Like most of the deals,
some people make it unworkable, right? So the easiest example is price point, right? If you've got a landlord that bought when the market was high, and let's say he bought for 2 million, it's now worth 1 million, but he wants you to put it on the market, but not at a penny less than 2 million. It's not worth you dealing with it, and you rushing it and you're saying, no, Mr. Landlord, the market is only here, we have to reduce the price. No, I'm paying you or whatever, you're going to put it on at this price, blah, 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 I'm not listening to you. I will correct that.
And what you should do is, 2 weeks later...
you've got to continue just sending a message
and you
or
say,
following
how's
up.
it going?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you sold it yet? No. What price is it online for? Yeah. Are you ready to come down yet?
Yeah, I'll check in another 2 weeks.
And there's this one guy I was working on a tower with, right? 2 landlords that I sold both of their properties, right? And both of them, my conversation started with a cold call. And I said, you want to sell your property? No. Do you want to sell your property? Thinking about it, but not right now. I want to sell it for this price, 600 per square foot. And I'd say that's too expensive. And they'd say, no, it's not. And I'd be okay, well, I'll keep in touch with you.
When the market catches up, we'll have another conversation. Yeah.
And I phoned them up maybe once every 2-3 weeks because I had a buyer.
Yeah.
And he's like, I only want this tower. I said, I've got the one you want. And it's going to take some time. Anyway, like 2-3 months down the line, not joking you, I say to the guy, you want to put that one online? He goes, yeah. And do you want to sell this one? He goes, yeah. So now I've got 2 guys who want to sell, and they've listened to me and my price, and I bring them a buyer each, 2 different individuals, and I do one with conveyancing team, and I do one without. But the thing is, after all this time, they stuck with me, I brought them a buyer, and the property was sold. And that took 3 months of me phoning up for them to listen to me.
Yeah, it's what most people don't realise out here is that it's a long game, right? If you want to make real money, it's a long game.
For certain things. I mean, those were shitty offices.
No, but that you can extrapolate that, and you can put that as a general whole. You can make a quick buck if you come out here and you're lucky, if you're in the right place, the right time, if you know the right people, whatever, you can make a quick buck. But if you're out here, if you play the long game, there's a lot of money to be made. And it's commission only, as we mentioned last week, but if you build those relationships, it can then become a very stable income, I think. Of course it will go up and down, it's commission, it's not a salary thing.
Yeah.
But if you know you've got the contacts, like the treadmill, if you know things are coming in consistent, if you're keeping in touch with the right people, it can be quite a stable income.
You're selling yourself, aren't you, to these people. And the people with the biggest and most expensive properties, they don't, I mean, some of them obviously are born with the money, but I mean, like they've got this money, they're of a certain statute and they will be listening. They want someone who can take care of something that's worth this much. So you're selling yourself to a person with this stock, and it's different for residential, it's different for commercial. With residential, you're talking, sometimes, I think in both scenarios, they look out for, if it's someone young and inexperienced, then you can approach it like, listen, I've got time on my hands right now to really go to town.
I'm looking for a client that's going to be my, I'm just going to pour everything in.
Like
so you can tailor your pitch.
I've not got many distractions right now. I'm like fully focused. You can sell it that way. Or say you've got experience, then you use your words. You know, make yourself sound good, or make it sound like
you show off your knowledge of the area,
your
of the
experience.
prices. You can even flash, you know, this has just been done, blah blah blah.
And I'm sure there's other ways as well.
That's the only two we've got in our arsenal.
You need three for good examples. You need three examples. And I guess, that's it.
Yeah, the other example is, you know, you draw comparisons. I did this in this tower. I know what's going on. Well, I suppose
that's experience. That's it.
Experience, yeah.
So, or of course, if you're older, then you're automatically somewhat respected, because most of the people who own these properties are like 30 plus.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
They when they see someone younger than them, they're not as experienced as me in life.
Yeah,
when they see someone older, then like in my company, he's almost 50. Yeah, there's a few older dudes in my company.
Yeah, there is, to be fair, and they're doing well.
They're doing good numbers.
No, you're absolutely right.
It might be obviously because they're partly experienced in the industry, but
I think it also makes
that's part of their pitch.
That's part of their pitch. But it also, just on face value, like, Rashad's very good at his job. That's why he does well.
He is a classic salesman, though.
Yeah, 100%. He's a proper Cockney salesman, is what it is. Yeah, but he is very good at his job. But my point is, just on face value alone, if you're picking a broker from like a police lineup, right? Are you gonna pick, you know, the 4 young kids that have clearly come over because they've watched a program, they want some sun, they want some quick cash, or are you going to pick the one slightly older fellow who looks a bit more experienced? Just going on pure face value.
I would do that. Exactly, right?
You just
face value,
yeah. It helped, obviously.
Which is why you've got to
and everything, But just on face value, that's an advantage, right? So we have to find our own advantages.
It's warm in here.
It's not that warm in here.
It's fucking roasting.
It's not roasting. What temperature do you normally have your apartment?
Like 20.
That's too cold, man. What a waste. No. What is it? It's 25 in it. It's perfect.
20 degrees is almost perfect.
What you're murdering the environment having it at that temperature. Do you sit in jumpers?
You're murdering me having this at this temperature.
Well, your grandkids will be happy.
I wouldn't have grandkids. Genuinely, like
your balls are sweating.
My swimmers are cooking.
It's really not that hot.
Anyway.
Right. Okay.
I think we've got a lot of things we've mentioned in this. A few rants about hospitality, definitely.
Yeah. We've done another good catch up on discipline. Let's try and now not do that again next week.
I think if I mention it next week, it will be an example involving something else.
Oh no, we're gonna set our own.
Oh yeah, we'll have.
I need you to send me a template of what it is that we write down. So it's what we want to change, what we're dissatisfied with, what our 5-year goal is.
We'll get some material, and you know what? I'll edit that using my skills, and I'll put that in the video so that people can see kind of what I've done or you've done.
This is for next week.
Next week, yeah. We'll go through like how we're setting our goals and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. I'll show you like how I track my weeks, because I've now my Excel. I do weekly planning, and it's literally like how many viewings, offers, deals, whatever listings that I want to do that week.
Right.
And then I'll log it in every single day.
Okay.
That's one thing I've committed to for since I started. I've got 80 Excel tabs with different weeks on it. I'm not even joking here.
You use one tab per week?
Yeah.
Jesus.
You'll see it. It's quite good.
I'm so excited.
So we'll go through some of this stuff, and that'll give someone an idea of how we how we're going to set our goals and shit. Well, Which I think this could be beneficial for us, right? So this podcast, we've talked about what works. We might as well fucking practice what we preach.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll
Do as we
practice
say,
what we
not do as we
preach,
do.
and you know what? Who knows? In 2 weeks, 3 weeks time, you could be killing it, man.
All right. So
Because-
we're saying we're gonna have our goals set for next week's episode, and then we'll go through that together.
We'll practice what we
All right.
preach about the goals and the discipline and shit.
All right. I like
Write
that.
down how you can. I'll show you everything,
Thank you.
and we'll focus on discipline next week as well.
All right. So sort of. All right. So this is almost how to be. This is two broke brokers
Two broke brokers
telling you how to be a good broker,
Yeah,
and along the way we're going to see if we can listen to our own advice.
yeah,
By the end of the series, we'll be millionaires.
potentially.
No, I like that. That's good. And then we'll just chat some shit along the way. We'll always try and have a different topic just to mix it up about Dubai or socials or something.
But
like
we
that.
might as well with
Yeah.
weekly development of what's going
All
on.
right. Yeah.
And I think with what we're about to start producing and practicing, then we'll see if that works.
Yeah,
And you
that's
know what?
quite
If
interesting.
certain
Yeah,
things,
that's-
if certain
yeah.
things don't work, then we can say to people, don't fucking bother.
Yeah, don't try. Don't listen to Josh Phegan.
You probably
Don't
try.
do 20 push-ups 2 days on a trot.
20 push-ups, you know, I think I did in that day about 60 in total. And I felt it right here.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, a couple of push-ups, you know, next day I'm walking in like fucking,
Hulk Hogan or something. The Rock.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Alright, we've got a lot of editing to do. Do you want to do anything and I'll put some sound effects in it?
Bam!
No, I do the BAM.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Okay, now that was loud, man.
Was it?
That was really loud.
Oh yeah, right, it was. Wasn't it?
What else can we do? I only know how to put text in and some sound effects.
Okay.
And like, I did one in the video last
Can you do
week.
like a Batman flash?
I can't do that.
Really?
Maybe I could. Anyway, thanks for listening to another episode of Broke Brokers.
Two
Broke Brokers.
Nice.
Like,
Comment, subscribe. Do you know what we could start doing? Although it might be a bit early for it. Have people write in what they want to hear us talk about. Whether it's Dubai or it's...
we can request it. If you've got any requests,
What's
then
the
let
email?
us know, and we can have a discussion on that.
Yeah, email us on brokebrokers2, TWO, @gmail.com.
And I'll put it up here. Email us right there, right here. Email us right there, and we'll get back to you.
On the podcast.
Yeah,
We won't
ask us
reply.
anything.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
make fun of you if it was a stupid question,
Uh-huh.
or we'll talk about it legitimately.
Okay.
That sounds good.
We're-
Tube. Last week's podcast was a bit late. We're also on Spotify, which is the unedited version. This week may or may not have one because we forgot to press audio. You did say the like, comment, subscribe. Which
Like,
I
comment,
didn't like.
subscribe. We've got to have it in. We need it.
Right, I'm just going back in our word now. Yeah, feel free to.
Only if you want to.
Catch us on Spotify. Email us your questions,
Yeah. We're on Spotify. I think we're on Apple Music.
I think.
Maybe a Google Play or something like that for
Okay.
you.
Well,
Android
only
users.
say shit that you know, man.
Oh, then just Spotify.
Otherwise, we're just going to waffle on for the next 20 minutes again.
That's a good sign.
I'm trying to sign off.
I'm
All we
sorry,
do is
sorry,
waffle down different tangents. So it's fucking.
Alright, Spotify, YouTube,
Email us your questions.
email,
And see you next time.
like, comment, subscribe.